Cowboy Nation, how you feeling about your team after that whooping we put on the Cleveland Browns? Let's talk about it.
Here's Prescott. Over middle, fire, caught, CeeDee Lamb, touchdown, Dallas.
What up, YouTube? It is your boy Big D here at Big D Media, talking all things Dallas Cowboys and other NFL news. And you know the drill. Real quick before I get started, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and it helped me with everything, man, and don't hurt you at all. So please, man, let's get these numbers going up for the year. I'm trying to really take the next step on this YouTube thing this year, man. I was kind of lazy about it last year, so I didn't start to like week 8. You know what I mean? I really was, you know, skeptical about even starting it. You know, it's a little work. People look at YouTube as like, you know, they don't really do nothing but sit up and make videos, but there's some work that go into this stuff, man. So bear with me. I'm still trying to get it down. But man, how y'all feeling after them Dallas Cowboys went to Cleveland and put the thing on them dogs, caged them up yesterday, man? It was nothing they could do with our defense. Man, Mike Zimmer got us looking great. Mike McCarthy had the boys ready to go. We got both our guys signed finally. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was. You know, Jerry playing them negotiation games, but that's how you got to do with big money, man. You know, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I've negotiated a $250 million contract before. You know what I mean? Don't sound like it's an easy thing. You know, with Jerry, he got to start low and work up to a point that he want to deal with, and Dak, he got to start high and meet in the middle as well. So, you know, it's really crazy how fans sit back and look, have never been a GM, have never been an NFL executive, but they feel like they know exactly what it is that Jerry Jones should be doing when they don't know anything about that. So I don't make videos like, what is Jerry Jones doing? Why ain't Dak signed? Well, Dak have a representative for him as well. You know what I mean? And he gets paid as well. So when he hear a number that maybe he had a, you know, that's not gonna get him what he want, maybe he refusing that as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure Dak want his agent to get his out of it as well, because they work hard on these deals, especially these quarterback deals. They didn't got crazy. But all that to the side, we got all the contract stuff to the side with him and CD. Now we can just worry about football. And man, did our Dallas Cowboys come out and play some football yesterday. Going into this Cleveland game, for one, we was underdogs. I really didn't understand why. But you know, everybody can move on from their playoff losses except for the Cowboys. You know what I mean? We still mentioning it's 30 years and Dak ain't play back then. Mike McCarthy wasn't our coach. You know what I mean? It's a different team every year. Now we at the Dallas Cowboys as a whole haven't got it done. But you know what I'm saying? That don't mean it won't get done, man. Like, we gotta be patient. And I know we've been patient. 30 years is a long time to not be in the Super Bowl. But man, it's teams that's never been. It's fan bases don't know what the playoffs feel, deep in the playoffs feel like, don't know what a Super Bowl feel like, and don't know what it's like to win a Super Bowl. You know, Carolina Panthers fans, they've been to two Super Bowls, haven't won one. You know what I mean? But we're not talking about how Carolina ain't never won no Super Bowl with the amount of talent that the Carolina Panthers have had in the past. The Jacksonville Jaguars have had Hall of Famers go through there. But they ain't been to the Super Bowl, man. And they haven't won a Super Bowl. You know, them teams been in existence for a long time. Philly been around 100 plus years and got one Super Bowl. Relax. Relax, man. It's gonna happen. Might not be with Dak. But so what? Quit counting his money. because that's what the NFL says he's worth as a starting quarterback with the winning percentage that he has, with the QBR that his career QBR, all that it goes into play. He's not an average player, man. You know how he's not an average player? Look at this last week. Now, how many of them same fan bases that be hating on Dak Prescott was saying he looked good in a jersey if the Cowboys don't sign him? There's some undercover fan bases that love Dak Prescott, but they hate the Dallas Cowboys. That's where all the disdain and the criticism come from for our quarterbacks, because they Dallas Cowboys and people don't like the way Jerry Jones runs his team. People don't like who Jerry Jones is. But Jerry Jones is one of the only owners who has actually played football. Y'all don't like to give Jerry Jones no credit for what we get done. And I know I'm not saying everything Jerry Jones do right. This ain't no I love Jerry Jones session. But all I'm saying is I see too many people acting like they know what should be done in these contract situations and in these, free agency situations. We've been burned in free agency so bad in the past. I know it scared Jerry Jones to go out and get a high dollar free agent, and they come in here and don't do anything, like a Roy Williams, Greg Hardy. We can keep going on the names that he's paid to come here and didn't do anything. And y'all say Jerry don't know what he doing, and then when he don't make the moves, Jerry don't know what he doing. Man, you gotta pick a side, bro. Not saying everything he do and everything he say is right, but when it come to these contracts and this money, I think Jerry Jones know what he doing. I think he know what he doing. Now, yesterday with the addition of Mike Zimmer, Eric Kendricks, man, that is big to our defense. See, I know a lot of y'all thought, man, we ain't gonna be nothing with a Dan Quinn. How did Washington look yesterday? It's not always about the coach. It's about the talent that he's coaching as well. And I ain't seen a number 11 in Washington. Washington don't have a number 11. So let's chill. Let's see what Mike Zimmer get done. See, y'all gotta wait. Y'all think the Cowboys don't know what they doing at all, the front office. But somehow we keep ending up with good coaches and good players. Winning 10 plus games a year. We're not getting it done in the playoffs, but we're getting to the playoffs. It's 20 teams that don't even go to the playoffs, bruh. Well, I'll take that back. 18 now since they added that extra, spot. So it's actually 7 teams in the playoffs, or 7 or 8 now. I don't know. I believe it's 7. So, I mean, man, we gotta temper our expectations, at the beginning. But yesterday, let's get to yesterday. The Dallas Cowboys went down to Cleveland and dominated Deshaun Watson in their offense. And I was worried about this game because I was worried about how we were going to look against the run. I was really worried about that, man. But for the most part, we made Cleveland stop trying to run. Now, I don't know if that's due. I take it with a grain of salt because Cleveland was missing 2 tackles. And that makes a big difference, especially when you facing our defensive line. You need your best 5 messing with us off the rip, and you missing 2? And that day would have looked like that for anybody yesterday. So I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson then lost it, but I seen some throws that I know I've seen Deshaun Watson make over and over again. And yesterday, Deshaun Watson was all over the place with the football. Now, I don't know if that's because he's so rusty from not being on the field consistently for about 3 or 4 years, or if that's because of that surgery to his throwing arm. See, last year he had to leave out for the season because he had surgery on his throwing arm. So let's give it some time. Maybe he needs to work out, be scar tissue and things. in after surgery that you got to work through, and maybe he's still working through some of them things because it wasn't just a slight surgery. From what I understand, he was out for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? So that looked like they really calling for Deshaun Head as a fan base because he is getting a lot of money. Now you know darn well I don't care what kind of contract Dak got. Now none of our quarterbacks could have played like that yesterday, and y'all still want him on the team. So uh Deshaun Watson, I will say this. I know he, in the past, have been a great quarterback. So we will see as the season progresses if he was rusty or if maybe it's something going on with that shoulder from the surgery that's then changed Deshaun Watson as a player. Because some of these surgeries, man, they will change you. People, all you got to do, he had surgery. Well, that's surgery, bro. Like, they cutting your body open. We look at football players and be like, he had surgery, he should be good. Bro, surgery changes you. That's not the God given body part that somebody that God gave you. Somebody had to go in and modify that and fix it to where it would work again. So let's wait to see how that surgery, progresses on Deshaun Watson, and let's see if he can get over the hump. If he's still the same player, if Deshaun Watson has changed as a quarterback, due to injuries and time off. I feel like quarterbacks are always developing. Quarterbacks should always be getting better. And he wasn't that old when he got traded anyway. So these few years that he's missed on the field, that messes with a player's development. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if Deshaun Watson had been on the field consistently in the last 4 to 5 years, he would have looked a lot better yesterday, regardless of an injury. But I feel like the game speed was a bit much for him yesterday too. We fly around, man, and I will say this: he is still hard to get down on the ground, man. But speaking of injuries, I'm hoping Jake Ferguson is okay. From what I hear, it looked bad. It did, the way he grabbed his knee. Usually, when you see players grab that knee like that, it is usually season ending. But from what I hear, he only had it wrapped with little gauze and some ice, or a bandage, or a ace wrap or something, and some ice. And he wasn't on crutches. And according to Jake, he could have played through it, but we know Fergie, Fergie ain't all there. So I don't believe that one bit. Fergie couldn't even get up off the ground on his own and put no weight on that knee. So hopefully it's kind of like a Jordan Love situation where it looked worse than what it was. But our young corner that we just drafted uh, looked great yesterday. Number 21, old Carson. I know we waiting on Bland to come back, from his injury, but I think our rookie gonna suffice until Bland gets back. Malik Hooker looked great. Our secondary looked a lot better without Jaron Curse in it. Um, I don't have anything personal against Jaron Curse. I love the leadership he brings, how hard he plays, but Jaron Curse can't cover, and Green Bay knew that. Green Bay knew that. Yeah. A lot of what happened in that game, go back and watch. Jaron Curse was the culprit of people being wide open in that game. And the fact that, I won't put it all on Jaron, but he just, nah, man, we needed to upgrade in that position. We needed something more from our safety as far as coverage wise. And I'm thinking that we getting it right now. Overshawn looked great. I think that's my son's new favorite player, and he didn't even know who he was until yesterday. So he flying around, man. He popping on the film like DeMarvion Overshawn looks as advertised. Eric Kendricks, so glad he's on our defense. As a middle linebacker, you almost like a coach on the field. It's your job to get the play, get the fronts called, audibles, and get everybody in position. And I didn't see us for a first game in this new defense. We didn't look confused. We looked like we knew what was going on. And I think that's a big credit to our new middle linebacker, Eric Kendricks. I told y'all Damone Clark don't got it. He barely got on the field yesterday. You know what I mean? And I believe we'll be looking to draft a new linebacker soon in his place as a middle linebacker. You know, once Eric Kendrick has spent his time here, maybe Damone Clark can learn something from Eric Kendricks, but he better learn fast because the NFL don't wait on you. But offensively, we can improve. The offense looked good in the first half. I thought we was about to put a 40 bomb on them. I ain't even playing. But Brandon Aubrey, when you moving the ball and getting the ball into field goal position, and that ain't far with Brandon Aubrey. You don't have to move the ball that far to get in field goal position for him. But uh, the way we moved the ball and the way we was getting in scoring position and putting points up on the board and keeping them from now, if they scoring touchdowns now, we're gonna need to finish some of them drives. But the fact that we put it on them like we did defensively, it made it to where we can keep putting points on the board, keep building that lead, and the offense as we go, I know those field goals will turn into touchdowns. But like I say, it always defense always looks better the first week. As you can see, it wasn't a lot of 30 and 40-point games yesterday. It was some pretty close games to where whichever offense could really figure it out and figure out what they good at week one instead of worrying about what they're gonna be good at here down the road. You know, it's a lot of things you got to fix after week one. Everybody ain't been hitting. Ain't nobody been throwing the ball. That's why Dak looked a little rusty. Dak missed some throws yesterday. But I think we're going to be fine with QB1. Uh, the touchdown to Brandon Cooks where he read the all-out blitz and knew exactly where the one-on-one would be. That's why he getting the big bucks, man. Everybody don't do that. As you can see yesterday, we put a lot of pressure on Deshaun Watson. Do you think it wasn't one incident where he could have dropped back, looked the pressure in the face, and made the throw like our quarterback did? Of course it was. But a lot of y'all will say Deshaun Watson is way better than Dak Prescott. So I won't argue with you there. But I'm glad to have Zeke back. Zeke the freak, baby. He's still looking like Zeke, not the old Zeke, but he still run physical. Nobody want to come hit him one-on-one. You can ask him yourself. Um, and when we get within 5, it's pretty much money when you got 15, not 21, but 15 now on your team. Excuse me. I'm so glad he back. To me, as a football fan, it's just certain players you don't get rid of. And to me, Ezekiel Elliott deserves to be a Cowboy until he don't want to play football no more, until the game tell him he can't play no more. So uh, I'm all the way live about what I seen yesterday. Now we gotta still be consistent on what we doing out here. But from what I seen so far, if we build in the right direction, we'll be ready for the San Franciscos and Detroit's in January. You know what I mean? Because right now I feel like them in Philadelphia. I feel like those are the 3 NFC teams that's in the same, on the same level as us. And it's a couple of them we can. It's one of them in particular that we cannot get past. But if this defense keep looking how it is against the run, and far as coverage and the rush and the coverage keep working together like it is and building, man, we're gonna be a pretty solid ball club come January, and it's gonna be hard to beat us. It's gonna be hard to beat us if we figure this run thing out. So that's what I'm looking forward to from the Cowboys this year. I'm hoping that we can be, you know, division champs. I'm hoping we can go ahead and win it 2 years in a row and break that cycle of nobody winning the NFC East for 2 years in a row for I don't know how long, like a decade now. So I'm really excited about what we got going this year, man. And defensively, it's really what I was concerned about because I mean, when we still got tests coming up, I believe we got the Ravens coming up. We got the 49ers October 27th. And You know, if we play solid in those games, Bengals, Steelers, that whole division is gonna be hard. So we 1-0 in that division. I said we need to go 2-2 in that division. But if we can go 3-1, 4-0, whatever, you know what I mean. Long as it's winning, we don't need to lose to every team in that division. You know what I mean? We need to stack these wins up. We need to stay right there with the Eagles. They playing a second place schedule this year, and you know, they ain't gonna lie. Them Eagles look pretty good with Saquon over there. Now, Jalen Hurts, to me, is still the weak link. You can say I'm hating. You can say what I want. But time shall tell. Time will tell you what I'm talking about. And look, man, if y'all can't trust Nick Saban, you don't know nothing about football. Nick Saban pulled him in the most important time of the year because he couldn't get the ball downfield against a NFL type defense, which was Georgia. So we gonna see. We gonna see as the year goes. But we 1-0. We were underdogs yesterday, so like I tell you, I stopped listening to the media. They just knew Deshaun Watson and the Browns was gonna rush for 200 yards, and Deshaun Watson was gonna run around and do what he wanted to do, forgetting that we were one of the top defenses last year, and it wasn't just because of a coach. It's because that young lion and what we have on defense. And we got a good mixture of old and young on this team right now. And sometimes, a lot of the time, those are the teams that win the Super Bowl, where they young in the right places and they veterans in the right places, and it all come together. That's all we need. We just need it all to come together, and I believe it will. But man, I'm happy to be back for the season. I'm glad that our Cowboys got that first win. We got the Saints next week at noon. So I was trying to get some, my norm, try to give you some little pre-game numbers to look at and just talk about the game, what I expect. But yesterday, for some reason, my sound wasn't working on my computer and I couldn't get it up. So sorry about that. Sorry we late, but I really wanted to get it started yesterday. But we here and we here for the rest of the season. So man, I appreciate you for watching. I hope you enjoy your Monday. Go Cowboys.